I've been seeing a lot on Instagram lately, people saying this one thing totally transformed my space. And the reality is, no, it didn't. That one thing just got shoved in with all of the other one things that you thought transformed your space. And, I'm not saying this as in a judgy way. I'm saying it in a way that sometimes what we think and what the reality is are two different things. And so if you are buying stuff because you think this one thing is going to change my life, this one thing is going to transform my space, this one thing is going to make this difference, chances are it's not going to. It's a collective of the items, and it's also the space, the space as a whole. It's everything put together, flowing together. It should all be balanced. Some things are more natural, some things are more modern. But if you have too many things in one space, it's competing together. Too many hard things are competing, too many big things are competing. And this is a common trend, especially on Instagram, where you see just people just shoving more and more and more and more. And it's you're just suffocating your house. Your house is becoming obese. And a lot of times this type of pattern, the person of the home and the home kind of mimic each other. So if there's a cluttered home, the person, their look or their mental state is cluttered. If the home is just stuffed and chaotic, and obese, the person is usually overweight. So these two things kind of go hand in hand because it's just mirroring each other. It's proven that the more clutter you have and the more chaotic your space is, the more wrecked your nervous system is, the more chaotic your mind is, the more you can't focus. Especially for women, we are so sensitive to our environment that when it's overloaded, when there's too much, you may not even notice it, but your system notices it, your subconscious mind notices it. I just picked up a golf ball. Your body's responding to the environment that you're living in. So if you are feeling lazy, sluggish, uninspired, and unmotivated, and every piece of art in your home is like brown and dead looking and barren looking, and you got pillows and blankets galore, and it's just what your home is telling you is this is acceptable. Be lazy, feel junky. Oh, and you're telling yourself it's so cozy, and if you just add one more thing, you're gonna love it. And the problem is this is a cycle that women get sucked into because the influencers that say you need this is a must-have, you gotta have this is gonna change your life, this non-slip bath mat is gonna just change your life, you better have it. The truth is, it's not. None of that stuff is going to change your life. What's going to change your life is you changing, your mental state changing, your habits changing, and that is where the fight is. That's the difficult part because we're all wired based on this paradigm that we have, based on how we grew up, how we were raised, what we were taught, what was acceptable, our relationship with food, our relationship with money. This is why we spend a certain way. And if the results aren't giving you what you want, if that's not serving you anymore, if you're saying, I don't like the results of all of this, then those habits and patterns need to change because it starts with the habit, starts with the thinking, it goes into a action, and then you live that action out. And then you get the results and the consequences. It's a reaping and sowing. It's a flow that's happening. It's a response that's happening. And I just see it so much lately that I don't know what it is, but I feel like women have lost, a lot of women anyways, have lost their zest. They're finding a identity in stuff. They're finding an identity in thrifting and in buying meaningless junk. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have a beautiful home. You absolutely should. You should create any space that you have or whatever you're living in. You should do your best to keep it nice, to create a beautiful home. And if you love maximalist style and just stuff everywhere, and that doesn't bother you, and you're not affected by that, then this video is obviously not for you. This is for the women who they can't figure out why they're feeling a certain way. They can't figure out why they don't feel alive, or they don't feel full of life. They don't know what it is. And then they go to, buying meaningless junk, calling it therapy because it helps them feel good. Well, you have to get honest with yourself. When you get honest with yourself and you really take a really good look at your life and what you're allowing, and what is controlling you, what you're allowing to control you. If you're controlled by impulse without thinking, if you are following people on social media and every time they post, you're sucked in without even thinking about it because you see their life and you see it looks so glamorous and this and that, that the first thing to do is to unfollow. And the second thing, it's like if you're trying to lose weight, you can't put ice cream in the fridge. Like, I love ice cream. I love Alden's organic ice cream. If you've been following me for a while, I enjoy a big heaping bowl. But there are some times where I say, I can't buy this because I know myself. I know I will overdo it. I know I will. And I'm not saying never have anything great, never go shopping, never have ice cream. Of course, you want to enjoy life and you want to, can't be strict all of the time. It's that 80-20 rule. But what I'm saying is, if you are one of those women who are feeling uninspired, you're overwhelmed, your nervous system's overloaded, you're out of shape, you have all of these chronic issues, inflammation in your body, hormone imbalances, habits and patterns that aren't serving you, then this is, I would take a good look at your environment. If your environment is not beckoning you to come up higher, to feel better, to be better, to level up your life, to elevate your standards, and show up as your highest self, then you got to take a good look at that. So the first thing that I would do is process of elimination. The first thing you want to do is purge. Now, start with the things that are you easily know, I don't love this. Stay away from the sentimental things first, because that's another battle in its own. But if it's the things that you're like, you know what, it's overly used, maybe shabby or tattered or old pillow, it's been washed so many times, has holes or stains, let it go. Or if it's never been used and you've had it for more than a year and it's never been used, let it go. So both ends of the spectrum there. Random things, cords. You're keeping gift bags that are dented. They're still good. I could reuse them. Okay, and you have a bunch of them. Maybe narrow it down to, cut it down to a third. But, iPhone boxes and magazines and old papers, and just start getting rid of the random clutter. That would be where I would start. Start in the closet. Give yourself some space to breathe. Don't just shift things around and think that you're making progress. You're not making any progress by moving one thing over to the next and then buying bins to organize those things. You're just spending money and wasting time. Money that you could be doing in something else that's actually changing your life or helping you be better. Clothes that you don't wear, that don't fit, or that you've worn too much. Like, I do have clothes. Actually, you've probably seen me wearing these tops. I'm wearing the high ones because I'm trying not to let sun, it's so hot here, get on my chest area. So I like these high necked ones. Plus, they are braless, which I like because it gets too hot here. And so I've had people comment they're uncomfortable with what I used to wear on my walk and talks. Well, I'm sorry, when it's 100 or 120 degrees, I go for comfort and not, I don't overfuss about that. But what I'm saying is, if you clear your closet, get rid of the clutter in the closet, streamline things. We've gotten so used to this consumption that we're not creating anymore because we're spending all of our time and money consuming. And then we're spending all of our time and our money organizing the overconsumption. And then we wonder why we're burnt out. God's design for us is to also create. Spend time creating. Redecorating your house every single day might feel like you're winning and you're creating and you're doing something that feels good. But if that starts controlling your life, it's not good. That should never take precedence over everything. And I've been there. I've done it where all I'm doing is rearranging. All I'm doing is organizing. And all I'm doing is sorting through stuff. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, well, this is therapy. This is de-stressing me. No, it's not. It's making me pause and eat without thinking. I'm not getting enough exercise. I'm moving stuff all over. And then you got all these women supporting, chiming in. Yeah, that's therapy. No, it's not. It's a waste of time. Obviously you're going to do it sometimes, but again, this is for the women who are chronically doing it all day long and neglecting other areas of their life, such as their health and their marriage and different things like that. Again, this is for if you are somebody feeling like you need a change. You're drowning, you're suffocating in your stuff. You don't know what to do. You feel stuck. You have to find that string to pull to unstick yourself. Pull on something. Start unraveling something. Come up higher. And you do that by finding something. Once you create an opening, this is why the process of elimination, decluttering, getting rid of, purging before you organize. Once you do that a few times, and you will do it a few times, you start feeling like, oh man, now I'm left with all these things that I actually love, and I'm not holding on to stuff that's not serving me anymore. Because I'm going to tell you, time goes by so fast. If you don't do it now, when are you going to do it? There's never a perfect time to really get started. There's never a perfect time. You just have to get started. When you get started on something like that, you start creating the perfect time. You start creating the perfect environment. You start creating the life that you want. You got to snap out of this, ladies. Like, I saw a picture a lady posted the other day. In one corner of her room, I'm not joking, there was like 12 lamps. Table lamps, 2 on one table, 2 sconces behind her, a floor lamp, another sconce, 2 lamps on the coffee table, like 12 in one area. And she was adding another lamp, shoving it in. I'm like, why is there so many lamps here? What is the deal with all of this? And it's a viral, lamp that somebody else said, you must have this. And then she said, I must have this. And then someone else is going to buy it and say, you must have this. Stop. You don't must have any of it. If it's something you love, fine. You got to be the one to make that decision. But I can almost guarantee that more than 80% of the women that are living this way don't have a body they like, have health problems, don't have a marriage they like. They're not putting any time or energy into the things that actually create longevity and health. They're probably not sleeping well at night. Because of all of the money that they're spending, probably returning a lot of the stuff, living in regret. And not just that, you got to house that somewhere. You're moving it all over because you're just trying to shove in more stuff, and then you have to store it somewhere. Give yourself a little break. Spring and summer is a perfect time to ease up on that. I'm not saying don't buy anything. I still get what I need or what I love, or each home is different. You want to make it beautiful. But don't just be led by impulse without thinking about what you're doing. Slow down, take a moment, and put a game plan together. Decide, create, a list of how you want this season to look over the next 90 days. You could totally transform your life within 90 days and move into action towards those goals. If your goal is to create a beautiful home, shoving a bunch of stuff in the home is actually doing the opposite. You're suffocating the home, and you're really probably bringing the aesthetics of the home down, covering up all of the windows and making it so overloaded that the home itself can't breathe. And if the home can't breathe, people in the house can't breathe either. Like, they're all suffocated in it. So don't just be fooled and think like, oh, I need every single little thing that everybody's offering and everybody says is a must-have, and you need all of this stuff. You really don't need everything. You just need the right things. And just because it's right for somebody else doesn't mean it's right for you. And if you have a smaller space like me, it's even more important to pull back at certain times. Now, I go a little bit more during Christmas and the holidays because that's my thing. I love it. But sometimes the smaller houses, most of the time, if you're doing too much, your body's gonna feel that. Give yourself a little bit of space. Not everybody has a big giant house, and not everybody has a big open house, with lots of windows. I did have that and I loved it. Now I'm in a totally different place, which has a different aesthetic. So I got to even be really careful on balancing how much is too much. And I want to make it cozy, but not too cozy. But it's just this trend that I'm seeing where everybody is just mindlessly consuming, filling their home mindlessly. And then you've got people congratulating them or telling them, oh, this looks so good. You know what? They're just saying that because you're commenting on their page, they're commenting on your page, and you guys are helping each other, and thinking that, everybody likes it. And they probably don't. They're probably doing it just to be nice. So get honest with yourself, remove the junk, and streamline your life, elevate your life. Simplicity, elevate freedom. Simplicity, elevate freedom. It's such a beautiful way, and you could do it in such a short period of time too. So that's my talk for today.